Hey, what's up, guys? Carl Gallant back with another video, and today I want to do my What If series. What if Naruto had two twin sisters, part 31. So, in the last part there, in part 30 there, we see um, Naruto, Naruto, and Ruko were mostly attacking Obito there. Obito was actually explaining. He's like, you know what he did to it. Mostly he was saying to Akashi, saying what he did to Rain there. He's like, well, that was a long time in the past there, Obito. We can't really defend what we actually said in the past there. He's like, you know what you did there, Akashi. So he mostly explains that to Akashi there. Akashi was saying, he's like, well, we can't help it. What happened to the current Rain there? And he's like, you know, what you did there. And then he's like, technically, he's like, main part, my main purpose is mostly protecting the current Naruto, and Naruto there. he's like, he's like, he's like, nice try and bad chance. What you're gonna do there? So technically, mostly he was explaining there and stuff like that. Mostly Akashi's like, he's like, stand back, guys. I can handle this there. They're like, well, no, Akashi and stuff like that. And then mostly Narco's coming in with her mini tail beast bomb. She's like, mostly Narco's her mini tail beast bomb there. Mostly it was going through there, and mostly Ruko's in the Uzumaki chains there. Doesn't really work there with the Obito. He's just going right through. He's like, you know, your attacks are weak there and stuff like that. That's what he was actually saying and stuff. They're like, how we're gonna beat this guy and stuff like that. And then Madara, or not Madara, so they come there and stuff like that. The Ten Tails were reviving, and both the cameras like, he's here. The Ten Tails there. And then they're like, wait, the Ten Tails are here and stuff like that. And mostly the both Cameras was actually saying about the Ten Tails there and stuff like that. And then technically, uh, technically they're like, well, we need to go into battle there and stuff like that. That's what they were saying. Or not battle. They're like, we need to get in there and stuff like that. So Nimuto arrives there. He gets to see Aruko for the first time there. He's like, huh. He's like all three. He's like, well, it's nice to see all three of you again there. And then they're like, mostly Naruto and Naruto are like, oh, nice timing, Dad, and stuff like that. And then Aruko was actually starstruck. She's like, who's this guy? type of thing there. And then he's like, oh, this is the first time I get to see you, huh, Aruko? And she's like, wait, you know my name there? He's like, yeah, and stuff like that. And then technically, Naruto's like, Naruto and Naruto are like saying to Aruko's like, well, that's our dad there, and stuff. And she's like, wait, what? That's our dad, and stuff like that. He was the fourth Hokage there. They're like, yeah, and they're like, yeah, there and stuff. He's like, it's time to go into it there and stuff like that. So technically, they mostly Sasuke arrives there, and mostly they argue about the who wants to be the Hokage there and stuff like that. Naruto mostly try to jump in also, and technically, he's like, I know you guys want to be Hokage there, but now let's go into battle there. So technically, they go into the battle there and shit like that. So technically, going into the battle, technically um, so they go in there and stuff, mostly trying to attack the Ten Tails. That was in part 30. So part 31. So here it goes. So we see Naruto, and Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura there, or actually was saying like, he's like, all right, guys, let's go in there. And so they're like, right, and mostly they all did their summoning jutsus and stuff. Naruto summons Kamajichi. Sakura summons like Katsuyu. Sasuke summons the Mamba there. That's what his name is for the snake. Technically, Naruto summons Connie there, and then I think Naruto technically got the hawk contract there, so she technically got a hawk. Um, I don't know. I don't know what I should call the hawk's name. Hiki or hockey or something. I don't know. Yeah, hockey. I don't know. I'm just gonna make up a name, hockey. Technically, they're like going to chat, battle there. So they mostly attack there and stuff like that. Mostly Naruto and Narco using the Karma modes there and stuff like that. When they get too close there, and then mostly she's like, technically Aruka was like, or Naruto was like saying, she's like, hockey return, go back. I will get into it there. And she's like, and then mostly jumps out of the way. Mostly he grabs Kanji. He's like, okay, no, let's go, and then throws Naruto and Naruto right at the ten tails there, and mostly Sasuke using his fertile style flame control there, or Monotarasu fertile style flame control. Then he hits it there, and freaking Naruto using his Rasen Shuriken there. Naruto using her water pole there, and mostly Haruka was like, I'm not gonna be able to at this party. Also, we're Sam Boulder, and mostly they combine all their mostly the Tentails like, and mostly he's like filling the flames. He gets hit by the boulder, gets ten of the Tentails gets knocked out. And then mostly was like growling and shit like that. They're like, oh man, we did it there and stuff like that. And then mostly they said, they're like, light up the flames there. Mostly he was saying Naruto and Narco. Mostly lit down there, mostly combining the Rasan Hurricane there. And then mostly they kind of let that down. And they're like telling Sasuke, they're like let the flames there so we can so me, Narco, and the two Karmas are gonna try to get the Tail Beast, and he's like, no, I'm gonna let them burn it. They're like, and they both look and like, wait, don't burn them. And then Aruka was like, don't burn them, you jackass. He's like, I care what you think, Aruka. I don't care at all. He's like, I'm gonna see them burn it and stuff like that. She's like, oh man. She's like, how we're gonna help the Tail Beast? And mostly Aruka's train is like, she mostly builds up a water spear. She's like, throws it at the Monotarasu, mostly to Monotarasu there, so it will not work there. He's like, you throwing that water spear at my Monotarasu there, that the water whirlpool at my Tarasu there, and mostly the water whirlpool didn't really work there, didn't like dissolve the flames or anything. She's like, damn, how the heck he's like this strong there. And then like, god damn, and stuff. So technically he kind of let down the flames there. Mostly the tensions and stuff like that, and they're like, and he's like, crap, and stuff like that, and mostly they jumped out of the way. They're like, oh crap, how are we gonna fend this off and stuff like that. So technically he's like how we're gonna fend this off there and stuff. So technically Obito, he's like, this is enough there. And then mostly like technically he's like, this is enough there. You're not gonna do nothing against it. And then mostly Naruto, the two Karmas, Killer Bee, and the Eight Tails, they're like ready to fire, boom. But mostly use their 3 Tail Beast bombs coming at it, and then mostly he's like, they're like, there's no way there and stuff like that. So they try to back off, and they're like, oh man, it's time there. And mostly all 3 of them they're like, damn, how we're gonna fend this thing off there and stuff like that. He's like, well, you can't do nothing about it there and stuff. And technically, and then he was mostly, he's like, you know what you did. And then mostly he just absorbs, he's like, Obito deadly absorbs the 10 tails, like, boom. And then Naruto and Narco are like, wait, what actually happened to him? And then Naruto was like, wait, guys, he's the 10 tails Jinchuriki. And then I'm like, wait, what? And then mostly Naruto and Aruka was like, wait, how he absorbed the 9 tails already? And stuff. He's like, you didn't know that. We also took some enemies there. It's like, we took some enemies there, and technically we absolved them. They're like, wait, what? he took some enemies there who honestly ate the Nine Tails chakra there. We all know Genkitu and Kinkazoo technically ate them and stuff, so technically, because they actually have part of the Nine Tails in them and shit. And and they're explaining there and stuff like that. He's like, well, you know, how are you gonna do this there? How are you gonna mostly fend this off? They're like, we're gonna take you down, Obito. And he's like, bring it there. He's like, you brats there. And then mostly he does the ghetto stat, or he does the ghetto statue there, or not ghetto statue, but he mostly solves the 10 tails. Mostly Obito was attacking there. Naruto and Sasuke mostly built the Kuramos up. Naruto and Naruto she mostly combines the Uzumaki chains. It's like technically the nice Kurama there mostly gets the thing with the full body Kuramas, the two ones. Mostly Naruto has this with Sasuke there. Mostly with the Uzumaki chains, it kind of looked pretty cool. It looked like chains around the Nine Tails cloak there. I think that would be pretty cool there, because he kind of looked like he has like brass knuckles there with Ruku's Uzumaki chains. Technically Kurama, the other Kurama, actually has brass knuckles there, and mostly had chains around him and stuff. And he's like bring it there. So technically, they take on Obito there. He mostly was that spear thing, and then they're like, wait, how we're gonna defeat him? They're like, well, we need to do mostly we're gonna do a distraction there, and then mostly Naruto and Sasuke trying to cut him there, and he's like, you know, you're not gonna beat me. Mostly does his stick there, or his little sword there, his little, or not sword, but his little stick there. He's like, this is the pass of the Sixth Sage. He's like, I can take you down there with this thing. Naruto and Sasuke, they're like, coming right at him there. And he's like, it's too late. He was about to hit him there with the sword. He's like, this will break your sword. And then here comes the other Kurama. Boom! He's like, ugh! Mostly, he's like, and then he's like, miss. He's like, roar. And mostly the other Kurama is like, Naruto. And then Naruto is like, he's like, you bastard, how dare you hurt my sisters? Mostly turn up the sword there, completely wrecking the sword. And then all the tail beasts, they're like, no, pull. And then all of them pull. They're like, boom. And then mostly they pulled out all the tail beasts there. They go into the spear there. Technically Naruto and Naruto were in the spear, and they're like, he's like, why I want to go back there. Why I want to be back in those villagers and stuff. And then mostly they kind of said what Naruto said in the original series. You're Obito-chia. You mostly walk the path with everybody there and stuff like that. He's like, I care. I walk the path there. I don't care at all. I walk the path. I just want revenge there. And he's like, and then Naruto's like, really, revengeance. You want revengeance there? He's like, yes. I want vengeance on everybody who doubted me there, who honestly died. And then mostly they were explaining there. Technically Naruto was actually saying, she's like, why that mostly, why you have to let down yourself there? Rin died there, so that's in the past there. We can't do nothing there about her survive, but come over to our side there. And stuff like that. So technically he's like, no, and stuff like that mostly. And then technically they argued there for a while. And then they started attacking each other. Naruto was like saying, like, why are you attacking me? He's like, you're don't have it there. They're coming over our side. So they pull him into their side there. And mostly they get all the tail beasts out. And then he falls on the ground there. And he's like, I lost there. And then we do see Obito, or technically, we just see Akashi was. He's like, let me take care of him, and he wants to take him out. Mostly, he's like, mostly Naruto takes care of him. He's like, Sensei. Boom. He's like, wait, Obito, that was you back then? Those years ago and stuff. He's like, yes, I did that there and stuff. He's like, technically, we can do it there and stuff. And then he was like saying, he was like, I never did, mostly did anything wrong there, and then stuff. He's like, I just trying to protect Rain. He's like, and mostly Nibito's like, yeah. He's like, well, I can understand that there. He's like, but technically, you just can't live through the past there. You need to get in the present there and stuff like that. He's like, maybe there and stuff, but you have all. He's like, you have great kids, Yamato Sensei. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. My son and daughter, mostly got you out of that funk there. He's like, yeah, there. And he's like, your other one's not bad also. The one with the Uzumaki chains there. And he's like, oh yeah, Ruko. Yeah, she knows how to handle them. She's kind of like her mother there. And then they kind of gave like a big laugh. They're kind of like, yeah, I can understand there. And stuff like that. So, and Naruto, and Naruto, they're like, okay, he's like, find the road Madara, and they're like, alright, Naruto, and Naruto, Sasuke, come on, let's go. And mostly he was like looking for Madara there. Technically, Naruto uses his Rasen Shuriken, throws it right at Madara there, and he's like, this won't do there. And mostly it's in the thing. He's like, wait, what? How do you solve that there? He's like, we need to come after the Nine Tails, the two Nine Tails there, and stuff like that. And that's where the what if ends. So he said he wants to go after the two Nine Tails, and then that's where the what if ends. So, yep. Comment, rate my responses to the barrels. Like, please subscribe, hit the bell, catch fun, so some live streams. Our response to the barrels. Okay, out.